34 national television games for the Lakers, Warriors, Thunder, and Knicks.
Monday, Peacock. Tuesday, Peacock. Wednesday, ESPN. Thursday, Prime. Friday, Prime. Saturday, ABC.
And I add to that, I don't watch NBA games, so I'm just as much the problem as anyone else is. I don't like watching the games.
The NBA just made a decision that might destroy everything we love about basketball. And before you think I'm being dramatic, because I'm never dramatic, right, guys? Right? Okay, just hear me out, because what's happening in the 2025-26 season is about to change how millions of fans watch the game forever. Picture this, you want to watch your favorite team play. Simple, right? I mean, if you wanted to watch all of your favorite NFL teams play, you just have to buy NFL Sunday Ticket, you get the Red Zone package, it's just one subscription that you need to buy and you're fine. But for the 2025-26 season, if you want to watch your favorite team play, you'll need Peacock on Monday, NBC on Tuesday, ESPN on Wednesday, Amazon Prime on Thursday and Friday, then ABC on Saturday, and both NBC and ABC on Sunday. That's 7 different places just to follow the NBA. And you want to know how much it costs to watch each and every single Denver Nuggets game next season? $1,346. That's not a joke. That's the actual calculated cost. So real quick, guys, before we get to the content, we're giving away copies of NBA 2K26 to a subscriber that turns on their notifications on this channel. If you're wondering how I'm able to tell who has my notifications on, it's obviously the people that are commenting first on my videos. And now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. NFL season's around the corner and Dak Prescott just needs one passing yard in order for his square to hit. Guys, you can sign up with my promo code microphone to get a free $50 in lineups when you play $5 or more on Prize Picks. Once you get that, use $25 on this lineup here to make $131. I've already been making picks so I can snipe the best lines early on. And in this case, I'm pairing Dak Prescott to get one passing yard, which is a free square, with Kyren Williams getting a touchdown at any point and Justin Jefferson scoring a touchdown versus the Chicago Bears. On top of that, if you want more plays, I've created an incredible Discord community of experts in the WAP link in the description down below. And thank you, Prize Picks, for today's sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, today we need to talk about how the NBA might have just signed its own death warrant. And I'm not talking about the 3-point revolution or load management or superstars getting paid millions of dollars just to sit out games, which essentially what load management is. But these are all major problems too. I'm talking about something that's happening right now that could fundamentally break the relationship between the league and its fans. So let's start with the elephant in the room. The NBA's new media rights deal kicks in next season, and games will be spread across Disney, which is ABC and ESPN, NBC Universal, which is NBC and Peacock, and Amazon Prime, which is going to be on Prime Video. And on paper, this sounds fantastic. I mean, more games means more coverage, right? But here's where it gets messy. Remember when you could just turn on TNT on Tuesday or Thursday and catch a game? Those days are over. That's because starting next season, Mondays are on Peacock, Tuesdays are on NBC and Peacock, Wednesdays on ESPN, Thursdays on Prime Video, Fridays are on both Prime Video and ESPN, and Saturdays are split between Prime Video in the afternoon and ABC at night, and Sundays are split between ABC in the afternoon and NBC/Peacock at night. Do you know how hard it is to say that in one breath? It's just covering all of these channels in one breath. Furthermore, probably the craziest information I got as I was doing research for this video is I had no idea that Peacock had more content on its platform other than Love Island or Love Island UK or Love Island The Reunion, but I digress. Let me put all this into perspective for you. If you want to watch every nationally televised NBA game, you are looking at needing a package for ESPN, a subscription to Peacock, which I'm pretty sure you already had if you happen to be in a relationship, a subscription to Amazon Prime, plus access to ABC and NBC, and we're talking about potentially hundreds of dollars a month just to be an NBA fan. And here's what really gets me. They're doing this at the worst possible time. I mean, NBA TV viewership has already gone down by 18% from the 2023-24 season. Think about that. Nearly 1 in 5 people who were watching last year have already checked out, and the league's response is to make it even harder to watch games. But wait, it somehow gets way worse. Let's talk about a fan favorite show that was featured on TNT, Inside the NBA. Do you know that feeling when your favorite show gets canceled? I remember how crushed I was when Drake and Josh came off of the air. I remember how confused I was when they pulled the plug on Zoe 101. And I can't really go into the reason for that, but I digress. Technically, Inside the NBA isn't getting canceled, but what's happening might actually be worse. Let me explain what's about to go down. TNT is losing NBA rights entirely this season. That's right. After 40 years, TNT is done with basketball, but here's the good news. ESPN swooped in to save Inside the NBA. Sounds great, right? Well, not so much. The legendary Inside the NBA studio team will appear on ESPN and ABC surrounding high-profile live events, including ESPN's pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage of the NBA Finals on ABC, the conference finals, the NBA playoffs, all ABC games after January 1st, Christmas Day opening week, the final week of the season, and other marquee live events. I would absolutely love if they had to do commentary over the All-Star Game once again. It might actually make the All-Star Game somewhat watchable.
SGA, get the ball, do work, clear it out, do what you do. You got on the mustards. Come on, man. Play ball.
But let me translate that for you. After opening week, we won't see Chuck, Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie again until Christmas. That's right. The show that's been the heartbeat of NBA coverage for over 30 years is basically becoming a special occasion thing. No more random Tuesday nights where Charles Barkley roasts San Antonio women for 2 hours. No more guarantee games with Shaq making fun of Chuck's golf swing. No more Shaqtin' a Fool or Who's That? Think about what we're losing here. Inside the NBA wasn't just a pregame show, it was appointment television. The show won 21 Sports Emmy Awards. It created countless viral moments that kept the NBA relevant even when the game sucked. Google me, Chuck, rings, Ernie, the bracelet story, steam room stories. These guys made us laugh for 3 decades, twice a week, every week. And now ESPN's basically putting them in storage and pulling them out for the holidays like your grandma's fine china. They'll technically still produce the show from TNT's Atlanta studios, but it's going to air on ESPN only for marquee events. Do you know what that means? Maybe 10 to 15 appearances per year instead of 100 plus. The worst part is ESPN already has their shows. NBA Countdown and NBA Today with Malika Andrews, Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins, and that whole crew. So now we'll have competing studio shows with the GOAT show relegated to special occasions while we get force-fed Stephen A. Smith's hot takes every regular Wednesday. Are you guys ready for some of this?
Somebody's got to say it, so I'm going to say it. The offense looks awful. And I think if Ime Udoka was still a coach of the Boston Celtics, they would be champions by now.
We did it!
Or how about some of this?
And it's no disrespect to Mike, because, you know, Mike is up there as one of the all-time greats, but Kobe, to me, was more skilled than Mike.
You still gotta wake up and watch me on TV every day, because I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, and I know you guys can't wait for this.
Miller, his name did surface in court testimony involving a case where his former teammate and another man, they've been indicted for capital murder. How is this factoring, if at all, into how teams are evaluating him?
Yeah, Malika, part of the...
I don't think it would be brought up at all if it wasn't for Malika just bringing it up on national television right now. Think about what made Inside the NBA special. It wasn't just the big games. It was the random January game between the Magic and the Pistons where they'd spend 20 minutes arguing about churros in San Antonio, or Chuck guaranteeing a win for a 10-win team just to mess with Shaq. It was the consistency, the chemistry, the fact that no matter how bad your day was, you knew these 4 guys would make you laugh on Tuesday and Thursday nights. And now it's basically being reduced to a holiday special. It's like if Seinfeld only aired on Thanksgiving and New Year's. Sure, it's still technically on TV, but it's not the same. The magic was in the regularity, the familiarity, the ongoing inside jokes that built over weeks and months. And if you think that's bad, it somehow gets so much worse. Adam Silver and the NBA executives will tell you everything is fine. They'll point to their new $77 billion media deal and say the money proves that the league is healthy. But let's take a look at the actual numbers because they tell a different story. NBA viewership is down 48% from the 2011 to 2012 season. That's not a typo. Nearly half the audience from that peak season is gone. And before you say, well, everything on TV is down, that's not entirely true. For those of you guys that don't know, I cover the NFL on a separate YouTube channel channel called Microphone, and I can say that the NFL over that same period is down just 4%. 4% is still down, but versus 48%, that's not a decline, that's a collapse. Even this season has been brutal. ESPN's opening night doubleheader ratings went down a whopping 42% from the 2023 season. Guys, this is opening night. That's supposed to be when everyone's excited, when hope springs eternal for every fan base. Instead, almost half the audience from last year didn't even bother to tune in. And to be honest, as a basketball content creator, this is something I notice each and every year with my own YouTube channel. Being 100% honest with you guys, interest in the NBA typically is very low to start out the season until the NFL is done. And the craziest part is even Joe Mazzulla admitted that he doesn't watch NBA games.
And I add to that, I don't watch NBA games, so I'm just as much the problem as anyone else is. I don't like watching the games.
When the coach of the defending champions, at least at the time, says that he doesn't watch NBA games, you know something's fundamentally broken. But here's where this scheduling disaster really shows its teeth. Christmas Day. For decades, Christmas belonged to the NBA. It was their Super Bowl of the regular season. 5 games all day, basketball heaven. But now, the NFL has entered the chat, and they're not playing around. This past Christmas, the NFL put 2 games on Netflix. Just 2 games. Want to guess what happened? The Ravens-Texans game averaged 24.3 million viewers, while the Chiefs and Steelers game averaged 24.1 million viewers. And I'm gonna be honest, as a fan of both basketball and football, both of these games were terrible games. The matchups weren't even that exciting. Meanwhile, the NBA's best game, a storied rivalry, LeBron James versus Steph Curry, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Golden State Warriors, 2 of the biggest brands in sports, grabbed 7.8 million viewers, peaking at 8.2 million. Let me make this crystal clear. The NFL's games had 3 times the viewership of the NBA's marquee matchup, and that was with the NFL's games being on Netflix behind a paywall, while the NBA's games were on ABC, free for everyone with an antenna. It got really weird because LeBron James tried to claim Christmas after the game.
I love the NFL, but Christmas is our day.
The NFL and Nielsen said 65 million US viewers tuned in for at least 1 minute of one of the 2 NFL games. That's more than the entire population of Italy watching at least part of an NFL game on what's supposed to be the NBA's biggest regular season day. And here's the kicker, Netflix has a 3-year deal with the NFL and will stream at least 1 game on Christmas for the next 2 seasons. So this isn't going away. The NBA's biggest showcase day now has to compete with the NFL juggernaut, and it's not even close. So why would the NBA do this? Why fragment their audience across 7 different platforms? Why reduce inside the NBA to special occasions only? Why make it harder for fans to watch when viewership is already cratering? Why charge fans $1,346 a year to watch one team? Why schedule games at 11 p.m. on Tuesday nights? One word, money. NBC, ESPN, and Amazon combined will be paying the NBA $76 billion over the life of this new deal. That's billion with a B. The league is betting that the guaranteed money from these media partners is worth more than maintaining their current audience. Think about it. They're getting $77 billion guaranteed whether you watch or not, whether you can afford it or not, whether you stay up until 2 a.m. or not. They already got paid. Your viewership, your fan experience, that's your problem now. But here's what they're not considering. Once you lose fans, getting them back is nearly impossible. Look at baseball. For decades, MLB chased regional sport network money, made their games harder to access, and guess what? They lost an entire generation of fans. Now they're desperately trying to win them back with rule changes and marketing campaigns, which is exactly what Uni's last video is on. The NBA is walking down that exact same path, except they're doing it at warp speed. Let me paint you a picture of what next season's gonna look like for an average NBA fan. Actually, forget hypotheticals, let me show you the real numbers. Someone actually calculated what it costs to watch every Denver Nuggets game for one season. Are you ready for this? YouTube TV is $857 per year. Peacock is $110 per year. Prime Video is $139 per year. And here's the kicker. Altitude Sports, their local network, is $240 per year. The grand total is $1,346 per year just to watch one team. And that's not a typo. $1,346 to watch basketball of one team. And Adam Silver has has the audacity to wonder why viewership is down? The memes write themselves. There's literally one going viral right now with Silver's face next to Moneybags saying, "Why is NBA viewership down? It must be all the three-pointers." No, Adam, it's not the three-pointers. It's the fact that watching your product costs more than a mortgage payment in some states. And it gets even more ridiculous. NBC just announced that they're debuting something called Coast to Coast Tuesday. Sounds cool, right? It's like the NBA equivalent to Red Zone. Wrong. The second game of their Tuesday doubleheaders will tip off at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Who's this for? Who's staying up until 1:30 a.m. on a work night to watch the third quarter of Blazers versus Hornets? This isn't expanding the audience. It's actively telling East Coast fans that they don't matter. So let's break down what a fan needs for the full experience. YouTube TV or cable, which is $70 to $85 a month, which is $857 a year. Peacock is $10 a month or $110 per year. Amazon Prime's $15 a month or $139 a year. ESPN Plus, if you don't have cable, is $11 a month. Local sports network or league pass is $20 to $30 a month or $240 per year. Your sanity is priceless because you'll lose it trying to figure out where to watch. We're talking about over $130 per month minimum. That's $1,560 per year. Let that sink in. $1,560 annually just to have access to NBA games. For comparison, in 2010, you needed basic cable and that's it. Maybe $50 a month total, $600 a year. Now they've nearly tripled the cost while making it exponentially more complicated. If you're a fan of basketball, what is your strategy for watching games next year? Because honestly, I think we all have to get creative in order to watch the NBA next year. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I don't know if you guys heard, but baseball is about to change forever. We have a completely separate video on that on our baseball channel. I'm going to leave it there and I'll meet you guys there. I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.